All right. My dear fellow listeners, good evening once again, and welcome to another edition of Let's Chit Chat with Narine. That Let's Chit Chat with Narine That is a Canadian initiative with a global impact. Keep in mind, there are a few different ways to listen to us. You can listen to us on the regular radio, that's 102.7 CKMS FM. You can listen to us on TV as well, for those of you who have the Rogers digital box on channel 946. And of course, we are live streaming our chit chat. So do take the opportunity to share our page. Please join us if you would like to learn a thing or two. But if you think you know it all, or if you think you're looking for an opportunity to vent out negativity, this is not for you. Tonight, we have the lovely Sherridean, all the way from Barbados, who's very much passionate about the arts. In fact, she has taken the leadership role when it comes to the arts. So we'll talk more about that. She also sings and a whole lot more. So I'm going to let her actually take the opportunity to kind of walk us through, her passion for the arts in general. She'll be doing a live piece for us. We're going to feature some clips of hers as well too. But of course, we are going to give her the opportunity to introduce herself. So Sherridean, good evening and welcome to Let's Chit Chat with Narine. How are you doing tonight?
Honestly, nervous, but I'm good. I'm just honored to be here, to be
Awesome,
here with
awesome,
you, and it's wonderful.
awesome. And it's so wonderful to have you here. How's the weather in Barbados there, by the way?
Today was pretty cool. I was pretty much on the inside, more online doing teaching, but it's pretty cool today. So it's not too bad. There are other days where it's very hot. So you need to take more than enough baths, but I think today was pretty cool.
Well, here in
Yeah.
Canada, here where I live in Ontario, here,
All right.
it's kind of getting nice and warm, and so we are enjoying, the nice weather here now. So because
That's
as you
great.
know, as you know, we're switching from one season to the next, and so to the next. So
Right.
having
Right.
these kinds of weather is always something we are always looking forward to. So
Right.
so take a minute or two or so. Introduce yourself in a sense. Let us know where you were born. I'm not sure if you were born in Barbados or elsewhere. Take a minute or so. Tell us about that. Tell us about your professional career as well, especially the fact that you've taken a leadership role when it comes to the visual arts. Tell us a little bit about that as well. And
Okay.
and of course we have specific questions for you, and we cannot wait to hear you sing for us live for our listeners tonight.
Okay. Well, I was born in Barbados. Though this is not, I saw your expression, though my accent is not Barbadian, I'll tell you why. I was born in Barbados, but when I was about 2.5 years old, my parents were both ministers of the gospel. They went to Trinidad
Oh.
to start a church over there.
Mhm.
My entire time, and I still maintain the accent. So I'm a little mixed thing going on in there. Somebody say I'm not a beige Trini, but I'm a Trini beige. It's all right. I will embrace both for what it is.
Mhm.
Um, in terms of my career, I really started off as a teacher.
Mhm.
And the way I got there, really, it was a matter of prayer because I knew the Lord Jesus from a very young age. And I was consciously conscious of God and his calling when I was around 13. And so I could remember as we got older, there was a time where dad, when he was preaching, he challenged all the young folks at church. He said, I bet you could just came off from watching TV and just spend time and ask God exactly what career you should pursue, he will tell you. Well, I took his word and I went pursuing that and I prayed. And within a day or two, I heard clearly teaching was my field, art is my field, business is my field. And exactly that's when I left Trinidad as a young adult. I came here to Barbados. I studied in art education. So I was trained to teach art. And then I went on to the degree level where you are trained to be an artist. And then later on, I did further advance in teaching as well at university. And thank God I was able to get a distinction in that.
Excellent.
So teaching has always been a part of me. I recognize it has been a part of me. I sometimes I'm ashamed. I tell the students, but they laugh. But the point I'm making to them is sometimes you can spot your area that you could go into from young, but you don't always recognize. But I remember being around 8, 10 years old in the backyard teaching leaves. And when they move, I would say, come on, be quiet, pay attention, these kind of things. I would do that. I remember myself in the back room also setting up cans and pans and paint covers, and I would beat those things as drums and singing. And that's exactly how I got into music. I started on the drums and then the keyboard, and singing has always been a part of me. So as I entered into moving forward, as I entered into teaching, my main desire really was to be the best teacher I could be and to, influence the students in a good and a positive way. And I ended up being, after a number of years, being head of the art and also the music department. And that's where I'm at this moment.
Excellent. What a good story there. What an excellent story. And you're so right. Some people can figure out at an early age, the things that they're interested in and want to
Yeah,
be really, and so I'm glad that you were able to figure out your niche really,
yeah,
from a very early age, because as an employment counselor, I do it professionally. Sometimes it's very difficult to me when I have a client when they're not sure what is it that they want to do. So it takes some time to really
yes,
figure out, because there's no magic
yes,
wand where that I can use and say, okay, well, you should do that, you should do that, because when I do that, it means that I'm making decision for them. That's not something I
exactly,
want to do, right? And so the fact that
exactly.
you were able to figure out, I think that's a beautiful thing. And so good for you. And I mean, 29 years after, you're still in the arts business in a sense, professionally, the visual art is such of a
Yeah,
good the visual arts. I'm not sure if you're aware. Of course, I'm pretty much sure you're aware. The visual arts is very powerful because in these days, even the therapists use it as a therapy type of thing, right? And so the fact that you are,
oh
the
yes,
creator of the arts, it must be a very special thing for you for sure. So good for you. Absolutely.
definitely.
Mhm. Good.
Yeah, I think what you
Mm,
mentioned there on the therapeutic side, I got a little glimpse of that
mm,
about 4 years ago.
mm.
4 years ago, when I was asked to be part of a workshop from the Bright Life Family Center, and they were dealing the topic of loss, which was quite interesting because I actually went through all of those experiences, loss in various ways.
Mm.
And what helped me come out of it, yes, through prayer and counseling and things of that nature, but I remember one thing, as a matter of fact, I couldn't paint at that point in time when I was going through that. I think that was around 2011, thereabout. And I remember a friend at that time, she reminded me, you like to paint beautiful things, but you need to just paint from where you're at, which I did.
Mhm.
I mean, the colors were very muddy and sad and everything, but there was a little light in that painting. And as I kept on painting, I felt better. The colors started to get brighter. And it's like I really saw what it did for me as an
Mhm.
individual. But
Mhm.
when I was part of this workshop, and I remember we were going through some exercises, and I will tell you this one exercise where a young lady was trying to make a butterfly, but she was creative in the sense that she wanted this butterfly to flap.
Mhm.
And so while she was making this thing, because we're trying to sense, but sometimes art releases what you hide,
Correct.
right? So the counselor is there, and I am, doing this exercise. And while she was trying to get this thing plucked, it snapped. And at that point in time, I said, that is what you need. You want to take off like a butterfly. You want to fly and come into yourself, but you need good support. She started to cry. And she said, how do you know that? I said, you just demonstrated it
Mhm.
through the art. And that's when I cried also, because I saw that even though I went through what I went through, it was not in vain. I was able to combine with the art, and you were able to make a positive impact. And I'll never forget that season, doing a number of workshops with these people who would have gone through loss, whether it's divorce, whether it's family or relationship. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
powerful.
What a powerful
Indeed.
story. What a powerful story you shared there. It goes to show that there are so many different ways, we can connect ourselves, you know, um, with the arts. Arts is such of a
Yeah,
powerful thing for sure. So
very.
yeah, so thank you for sharing that story there, because people are watching and we want to motivate as many people as possible. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do, of course, I have a few clips of yours. The music. Music. It's such of a good therapy by itself. And so
It is.
people, so I'm gonna take the opportunity now to feature a clip of yours so people can enjoy some of your music. And of course,
Okay.
before the end of the show here, we're going to have you do a live piece. So, my dear fellow listeners, for those of you who have just tuned in, you are listening to Let's Chit Chat with Narine. Keep in mind, there are a few different ways to listen to us. You can listen to us in the radio, 102.7 ZKMS FM. You can listen to us on Rogers digital cable as well, for those of you who have the Rogers digital box. And of course, we are live streaming our Chit Chat, so do take the opportunity to share our page. I'm going to take the privilege now to feature a beautiful clip by our guest here, Sherridean, all the way from Barbados, who is very much passionate about the arts and has lots to offer to us. So this is a really good chit chat tonight, where we all can learn something from somebody who has been in it from childhood, really. So make sure you take the opportunity to stay up to the end and share our page as well too. So do enjoy this beautiful clip done by our guest here, Sherridean.
Light of the world, you step down into darkness. Open my eyes, let me see beauty that's made this heart adore you. Hope of a life spent with you. Here I am to worship. Here I am to bow down. Here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. King of all days, you're so highly exalted, glorious in heaven above. Humbly you came to the earth you created, all for love's sake became poor. Here I am to worship. Here I am to bow down, and here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. I'll never know how much it cost to see my sin upon that cross. I'll never know how much it cost to see my sins upon the cross. Here I am to worship, and here I am to bow, to say you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, and altogether you're wonderful to me.
All right. That was wonderfully done, by the way. So I just thought I'd start off with something
Thank you.
meaningful. I know you sing with passion, and I know how much you're passionate about what you do. So I just thought that one, I felt that it was an appropriate one to kind of start up with. My dear fellow listeners, for those of you who have just tuned in, you are listening to Let's Chit Chat with Narine. Our guest obviously is all the way from Barbados, and we are doing a live show. So we are hoping that we can get through this with ease and all of that, because anything is possible when we do a live show here. But hopefully, it continues, the way it is right now, kind of thing. So obviously, you are one of the unique guests, where you actually have lots of experience in terms of the art, the visual arts, the performing arts, you sing and all of that. And you know how it goes when it comes to, this whole music industry, this whole entertainment industry, so to speak, putting the visual arts at aside, but the singing piece and the music piece and so on, it can be challenging, especially for people who are in a smaller country, smaller island, and all of that. And there are many people who I'm aware of who would love to kind of do the things that you have done already, kind of thing. There are a lot of young people, especially young women and all of that. I don't know where to start. I know things have changed where there are different technology where people can do things, and because I'm pretty much sure the way you were doing things many years ago, a few decades ago, things have changed where doing a recording is much more easier now and so on. We get all of that, but still, for some people, it can be a challenge, whether that be not being able to kind of really, put themselves out there. Maybe they have social anxiety, not knowing where to begin and so on. As a person who has been there, has lots of experience, years experience, from a mature person, from an educator, what advice do you actually have for the younger folks watching and listening to you right now?
Okay, I think I would start with why you want to sing. I always try to find out, what is your intention? What is your motive for singing? Once you have that in front of you, that becomes like your guide, right? And when that motive, to me, when that motive for singing is fueled by the fact that you want to be a testimony, or you want to be some source of hope or light in any situation, I think having the right motive will put you in good standing, regardless of what the situation. And not only that, being humble in the sense that wherever you're at, sometimes we have this huge dream to be singing on these large platforms and everything. That's not where it started. Mm-hmm. Singing for me was just singing in the Sunday school choir. It was singing for Christmas programs, singing for a wedding. Someone will ask someone, funeral, they will want someone to sing. They will ask me to sing. And whenever I did, I just sing from my heart because, I wanted them to be encouraged in whatever it is they're doing. So having the right motive helps, because trying to get into the industry is not, at least from my experience, the easiest, especially when you're new. All right. Because for me, I think the biggest moment in singing, apart from with the band, was I think I was singing with a band, Vanessa and group, and we were able to sing for this big event, Gospel Fest. And I was doing, back vocal. I was just glad enough for the opportunity. And it's then that, you really recognize that from point to point, opportunities either opened up. So in other words, keep your eyes open. Okay. But on the way doing that, and this is the reality of life, on the way to your goals and your dreams, there will be obstacles. First obstacle, you might have to deal with a stage fright. How are you going? Does that mean you cannot sing? Does that mean you cannot do it? No. Before I came on here, I was very nervous, and I'm a teacher, and I was very nervous. But
and thank you for saying that, by the way. Yeah.
You're welcome. You push through, and I also say, Lord, it's about me. I want to be a blessing, so you focus on that. And you go ahead and you push through, and sometimes, like after a verse or two words, the nerves gone, and you can actually focus on what you're singing. You understand? And so you have that obstacle, to deal with, making sure you have the right perspective, making sure you deal with whatever nerves, and push through. If you have to go up singing, hold the mic. If you have to put up the hand, go ahead. You keep doing it, and time after time, it becomes less of a problem. The other thing is obstacle is life. You have dreams, experiences, death happens, divorce happens, painful times happens, and all of these eat away at you, your self-confidence, your determination, right? And if you're not careful, you can be deterred from doing it. But I believe in God and I believe in prayer. And that's why I believe, even so now, I have a greater passion because after going through these obstacles and seeing God and his hand and how he moved, it's like I have a joy, I have a passion. It's like you have a chance at life again.
Mhm.
So you want to make the most of each experience. And I'm not saying because you have passion it's going to be easy, because sometimes you could be misunderstood, whatever have you. But it's just to remain teachable as much as possible and learn the rudiments. And then you need a mentor. You need can see your gifting and talent. And I must thank God for Samus, because I don't know, we just hooked up on Facebook at that point in time. I had no music out, mind you, at that time. And I just passed him a song, and immediately he said, "No, this is a song to be released." And that's how I, work on It's Only a Matter of Time. And that was done in no time, and the song was out. And actually, I have to pay for that. I was hoping to get sponsorship. That's the next thing. All the finances may not be in your hands, but because I knew in my heart that this song was ministry, I just sacrificed and I'm saying, God, I'm going to pay towards it. And I'm glad I did. I've saw grown up people, tears trickled. An old man heard the song and he said, when I can listen to the song every day, it encouraged me so much.
Wow.
When students said, when I can't speak, I play the song, and it's like, we're still listening to your song. People still asking about it. And that was just the first song I've ever released, So, it's a wonderful journey, but you must have a goal. You must have a purpose beyond yourself. And me, it was ministry. To me, it was bringing honor to God and being a source of encouragement. And that helped me. And the last point I would say is to work with what you have. Because even after that song release, I have a number of songs ready to go out. But again, finances. So I'm in that waiting mode for that next, song and the next, group of songs, etc. So, one day I was so like eager, I wanted to sing, I wanted to do something. And that's when it came in my heart and spirit, hey, just work on the covers for now. Work on the covers. So I just, practice and going through a little vocal training and doing different songs. And that's when I think Aubrey Padmore came into the whole thing. When he saw my art and my music, he was excited as well. And his excitement excited me even more. And turned on a light, and one opportunity after the next came. So I must thank him as well for that. So you need people who can mentor you, and it works out.
Excellent. What a great advice here. I like the fact that you mentioned that it is okay to work with what you have, because if you wait for that perfect time or all the resources you need, you're not gonna get anywhere. That's for sure.
No.
So you work with what you have, and of course you have to be passionate about what you do, which is
Yeah.
great. And I'm very glad to hear that you acknowledge Audrey for kind of helping you along, because sometimes we tend to forget, the bridges we cross. And so the fact that you mentioned about him recognize your
No.
your skills and potential, I think speak highly of you as a person, which is
And I thank
important.
you. I
Awesome.
thank you. But you see, life teaches you to honor and to appreciate. You understand? Because it's like the energy that you give out. And sometimes you're not looking for anything in return, but you just give it out. And
Correct.
it's a good feeling. The main fact that not everybody remembers you.
That's
And
true.
when someone turns in your direction and acknowledges you, take the time out for you and acknowledges, I think it's only fitting, it's only right to remember that person, to acknowledge that person. If you don't, you're just saying, I made it on my own. I didn't.
Correct.
There are many persons that came in my journey who released either positive words or who spotted something there, and they just ignite or they just kept me going. And that's the reality. And that's why we have to remain humble, because don't ever feel you can do it all. At the end of the day, you need a team. You need people you can work with and who have your back, So you
Excellent.
can't get to give honor.
Great point. I'm so glad you took the time to do that, and you speak with such of a passion about it too. So that's that's awesome. It goes to show that you appreciate it, and
I
that is
do.
it's so important though for us to acknowledge the people who help us along the way, because nothing is magic. There are people who help us along the way to get to where we are right now, and we must, now is a good time, especially how we have the coronavirus thing going on. We have time to reflect back to see,
Yeah,
we have
it's
people
true.
who do help us to do good things and so on. Maybe we should reach out and see how they're doing,
I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. And it's only fair, it's only fitting. I remember doing a vlog on that same thing called honor. Sometimes we might benefit from a person and you just move on. But no, if that person put out energy, and sometimes they put out energy through their pain, through their testing and their trials. And when you turn back and you say, you know what you did made a difference to me. And I think of my good friend Pauline, how many times she would sometimes just call or send me an encouraging scripture or pray. I never forgot a prayer she prayed with me a few weeks ago. And it brought so much strength and focus, because anyone who knows me, I'm active, I'm always out and going. But certainly with the COVID, whoa,
Yeah.
it brought me into a new, I would say, dimension, which
Mhm.
I've grown to appreciate. Because you get to learn more about yourself, you get to understand people, and you're learning a lot of stuff. So I journal a lot of stuff as well.
Right. Yeah.
And also it was a time like fuel to deal with things that I wanted to do in the art and in the music as well, that
Mhm.
you always wanted to do, but I was so busy between teaching or whatever community, help I was giving. You're so busy, but you didn't get to do it. So around this time I get to do all of it. And I'm grateful.
Excellent, excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. Thank you so much for that contribution, because those
So
pieces will really get people thinking, especially young people who are not sure, who don't understand how it works, and know that there are a lot of pieces, involved really when it comes to the arts or anything for that matter, And so, and you also mentioned a good piece about a mentor. I'm
yeah,
glad you mentioned a mentor. If we were to have a mentor who knows more than us, that's the only way we will grow. And I keep mentioning it on this show here. If we
it's
don't
true.
have a mentor to allow us to grow, we will never, we'll always remain at one level. So thank you for sharing that piece, because those are the
Yeah,
pieces will make a big difference to the people who are
a huge
listening. So
difference.
thank
I
you so
agree.
much. Awesome, awesome.
You're welcome.
And then it's
You're
coming
welcome.
from somebody, coming from an intelligent person as well. I mean, you are an educator, and so you are
Yeah.
you are speaking from experience as well too. So what we're going to do now, of course, we want to feature more of your talent. So we're going to take the opportunity to feature another clip of yours so that people can enjoy some of your music. And we want to kind of do that. And so,
Okay.
listeners, so let's take the opportunity to kind of enjoy this not a beautiful clip by our guest here.
Calypso was never me thing, but this friend I call Armstrong challenged me to write a song. They say sing about stand home, so me home I might as well try and write a little something. Well, I really didn't plan for this thing they call Corona, but at home I might as well sing, have fun and do a little thing. And I hope when I've done this song, you plan to have a little fun. Man, it pained me so bad to see how people suffering all from one disease, moving, causing so much stress. Now I had it spread easy with a touch or even a sneeze. God help me understand why some people can't learn something. It's time to make Corona leave. Now tell me why it's still here and you want to go out there. Now you're not on the front line, why you can't follow some rules. Just don't tell me you're bored and you have have nothing to do. You know you used to do some things. You sing, write, even paint. Go back to those little things. Have some laughs and have some fun. Go pull out those skills. They're hiding for too long. Whatever you do, get creative. You better stand home. This is no time to spread this disease. Go bond with your friends and fam. Go use techno and share. Share some good vibes, share some jokes, even memes, share some things. But please don't let me hear news sounding like you're spreading bad news. Wash your hands, keep it clean. We want this thing to go quick. Now do your little part, just follow the little rules. Da 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 da, da 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 da. Now this I soon go, but I really had to add this part. Hear me well, I mean well. Don't be too spiritual, just do what the Lord says. Stand home and get back to God. Nation, read your Bible again. Get close to Him, just pray. And really, He really loves you. Let's play Bible games. Keep the word in your mind. Let's grow together again. Be all that God wants us. Let this nation return to God while we all just stand home. Oh, I'm gone. I say my little thing. I can write a song and it song like calypso. I'm gone.
All right, nicely done, and great message there, obviously. So that probably was one of your most recent one, I'm assuming, right? Was that one of your most recent one?
Definitely a song that time. Yeah, that's since the COVID actually.
Yeah.
There was a
Excellent.
challenge that was going on in Barbados
Mhm.
where there was this rhythm and yeah, so someone sent it to me. So it was a morning time. So I just, wrote a few things and by the morning I just sent it back out. So, but I laugh at myself. Sometimes you have to experiment, try new things, but that was certainly one.
Yeah, no, yeah, so that's correct. You have to get out of your comfort zone sometimes. And that's how when you really know your full
Yeah.
potential as well too, So being a risk taker is not necessarily a bad thing. So I like your kind of style there, you have to be a little bit of a risk taker. Those are the only things will allow you to take things to the next level. So I just thought that was a good message and
It's
was
true.
nicely done, and obviously it was a calypso fusion there, so that was pretty cool too. So that's kind of nice. So
Thank you.
obviously, yeah, no problem, not a problem. So we want to obviously take the opportunity to get to know you a little bit more, and so we'll ask you a few more questions and so on. Do you have
Sure.
and this is probably good information for us to know because I personally never visited Barbados. I heard it's beautiful. I know of the beautiful beaches and so on. Do you have a
Oh
favorite
yeah.
food? Is there a favorite food there, favorite spot? Like when we go there should be, okay, well, you have to visit this place kind of thing? Or do you have like a favorite food that you normally cook or prepare or go, to a specific restaurant or so, like in Barbados?
You have me smiling. Okay. My favorite food, I'm in Barbados, but it is
Yeah.
dal peri roti
Ooh.
and Cana.
Oh, really?
And Cana. So that's my favorite.
Oh,
It's
wow.
not necessarily a Bajan thing, but it's available here now.
Oh.
So that's my favorite. And then after that, there's a little macaroni pie, chicken, and the norm here. But definitely I think dal peri roti is
Oh,
one.
wow. Dal puri and
And
yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
yes, I love it. I love it. Oh yes. Oh yes. And when you see the doubles and everything,
Oh,
it's
wow.
like, whoa. It's also my milk Trinidad. I love it.
You know, I,
Um,
Yeah, no, sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, and then my favorite place really, I think, is on South Coast. I like heading there by the boardwalk. I love walking there and relaxing, hearing the wind blow, seeing the waters move. It always, provoked me to think about God. When I'm going through those moments, that's where I just, let go and let God come in and get inspired, things of that nature.
Mhm.
So that's my favorite food, my favorite place. And then in between there, Chit comes in. I don't know if you've heard about it, but everything in Barbados is almost Chit agriculture, So it's
Oh,
convenient from time to time, when you're coming from work or whatever, you stop and you get a little bite here and there.
oh,
Yeah,
nice.
so, but through the COVID, I have learned to create my own shepherd at home in the kitchen. And
Oh,
there I laugh at myself as well. Yeah.
excellent. Good to know. Good to know. You mentioned about doubles. For those of you who don't know, I'm a big fan of doubles. I haven't had it in a while, but
You
I'm a big fan of doubles. So I live in Kitchener here in Ontario. So it's about an hour 50 minutes from Toronto.
know,
For those of you who like Toronto is the capital here in Ontario. So I believe it or not, I usually drive for about 55 minutes to go and get these doubles made by like Trinidadians, and so
right.
because
Yes.
for me, I consider it to be like a special place, and I like the taste. So for me personally, it worth the drive. So I will drive,
Oh,
55 minutes
yes.
to get that
Oh,
doubles.
yes.
It does not matter that I
Yes.
can get it cheaper closer to where I live. Like that's not the point. Though I love shopping local too to kind of support local business and
Yeah.
so on. It's just different
The
when you have a
the
special place
flavor.
and the flavor. And I'm telling
Yes.
you, man, like these it's like it's not only me. There's always long lineup and so on. So anybody who invite me for anything, if you plan on inviting me, if you have a little bit of a doubles there, we will do me well.
Top it up with that. So they have a Trini guy who does it here. I can't even remember the name of the place, but he has a number of places in Barbados where he sells these Trini.
Mhm.
So yeah, I enjoy it.
Awesome,
Sometimes I'll have that, for lunch and whatever your favorite drink. But it's really filling and it's nice.
awesome, awesome.
So
Good stuff.
that I kept.
Good to know. Good to know. When I visit sometime, I have to look for those places. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
you don't have any problem.
Awesome. So what we're gonna do, maybe you can sip some water if needed, and we would love to for you to do a live piece for us. I know it's always a risk when you're doing a live piece, but
You
let's
know,
we all know, and people are aware of that too. But here on the Chit Chat show, we are freestyle. We take a lot of risk here, and we are gonna give it a shot. So take it away.
okay. This song I wrote a couple years ago. It's called It's Only a Matter of Time. And basically what it's saying now, regardless of what you're going through, even as especially now as we're going through what you're hearing going on in America and so on. I have faith that it's only a matter of time and that God has the way of giving us wisdom and knowledge to move through and come out in a better position than we started off in. So just a little piece. And
Sure, sure,
if you're not hearing any music, let's tell me and I'll up it.
no problem.
It's only a matter of time before I see what God has told me. It's only a matter of time before I get what God has told me. Just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. That's what I believe. Your word says, have faith in God, don't doubt at all. And whatever I ask for in prayer, believe that I have received. It's only a matter of time before I see what God has told me. Just a matter of time before I get what God has told
Just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. Lord, I believe.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you
There you
so much.
go.
Nicely done, and you did the music piece and you sang all live here on Let's Just Happen Around That. We are forever grateful for that special piece. Thank you
You're
so much
welcome.
for doing that. So what we're
You're
gonna do,
welcome.
we usually kind of scroll through to see what people are saying. And so Christine is
Yeah,
asking a question here for you. One of the
sure.
viewers is asking if you ever sung, performed that is, in front of your school children, like your
Oh,
children that you
yes.
teach.
Oh, yes. One of my colleagues, Jerome Smithen, he coordinates the music. And, when we were having departmental meeting, he told me, so, oh, Mesquite, you're going to sing your song for Ash Wednesday service. I said, really? Because they were asking before because they heard the song. So I said, all right, I can't get away. And actually I did it. And I'm glad. And I just, at that time, of course, I was nervous. I'm accustomed teaching.
Mhm.
You're going up on the podium to talk about departmental matters, whether it's art or music, but this time to sing. And I was so nervous, only God knows. But I thank God for my good friend. She came, so she prayed. She was a good support at that time, Pauline. And then I just went on the stage. And after the first two lines, I was in my elements. And I guess I realized the impact of it when I heard the applause, during the song and after the song. But it was really an honor to really share with the students that no matter what they are going through in life, always remember that God will be there to guide them through. And I guess they appreciated it.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Christine. Good question there, by the way, Christine. Let me take a minute or so to acknowledge a few people. I want to say
Sure.
hello to Gita Parbudial, long last name. Thank you so much for taking a sneak peek here, and let's just chat with Narine. That always appreciate your viewership. I want to give a special hello to Girly Passad as well. Girly Passad will be on the show, by the way, on June the 13th. That's June the 13th, Saturday, that is. So make sure you keep
Okay.
those days available. Dairam, thank you so much for taking a sneak peek here. Always appreciate it. And all of you, obviously, Raul from USA, all of you who are taking the time to take a sneak peek and share a page, we do appreciate this. The good news is that people can watch the show anytime and so on. So I have a lot of people who usually watch after because people have other obligations and
Yeah,
children. They go for their walks and so on. But
of course.
I do have specific viewers who tune in, and sometimes I rely on them for certain things. For example, when Christine share a page, for some reason, it doesn't always show up. I don't always see it on depending which device I'm looking at. It doesn't always show up on my end, though it's there.
Right.
So when somebody
Right.
share it, then it automatically
It
it's
goes
there.
out.
I'm not sure how it's set up
Right.
that way, but sometimes when they share it, then it kind of confirms, that okay, yes, we are actually live, and so on, kind of thing. So we
Great.
appreciate everyone's contribution here, kind of thing.
Mhm.
So my next question for you, though, as we are chit-chatting here, what are some of the things you are grateful for in your life? You know that it's extremely easy for us to focus on the negative things in life. It is a natural thing for us to do as human beings. But despite the fact, we are going through challenges, and we all, at some point in our life have had challenges. There's no question about that. There's still things we can be grateful for. What are some of the things you are grateful for as a person, as a human being?
As a human being, I'm grateful that I don't have to rely on myself for everything. And that's where God steps in. I'm grateful that every morning when I get up, I can call on the name of Jesus. I can feel his presence. I'm grateful because no matter what I'm going through, he's there. I am grateful for family. Especially when I went through my valley experiences, they were, my support and they were there all through it. So I thank God for my sisters and my brothers, Wayne, Fern, Charlene, Charleston, and everyone. And even those who've gone on, who passed on, Bronwyn and Charles, they have been a big influence on me. I thank God for good friends who are there, and different ones at different times, the words of encouragement that they would have brought. And I may not necessarily call names, because you know what? I make it a policy when someone does something for you to thank them one time, to let them know how much you really appreciate what it is they're doing for. And I just thank God for hope. I thank God for hope and the opportunity to be alive, to use my gifting in a positive way, even in this time where it seems to be dark and dismal. You don't have to be afraid of darkness. That's when you see the presence of God. That's when you see his way being weaved into our lives, and something always comes out beautiful in the ending. So it's like, just hold strength, continue to give God thanks. Something good will come out of, life and life experiences. I'm thankful for hope, for another chance, and I'm grateful. And the
Thank
thing
you.
about it is that, and a lesson I have learned, you don't have to be perfect, because I tended to be, perfectionist, and I'm still weaning away from it. You don't have to be perfect, but you just need to have a
Yeah.
perfect heart towards God. Even where you fall short, you know where you can go to get restoration, and you just get up again and you keep going. And I'm learning to relax now. That's one of the things COVID has taught me, of everything you have to do. You can't do one thing really. So just chill, relax, do what you can, and then trust God with the rest.
Awesome.
You know? Yeah.
Excellent. I really love your spirit there. And it looks like you're grateful for a lot of good things. And it's nice to hear it from our guests. I always look forward to hear, you know, um, the pieces that the guests will share in terms of what they're grateful for. And
Yeah.
I like that you mentioned that you're not a perfectionist. I can tell you right now, I'm happy to share it. I'm not a perfectionist. And I never strive to be perfect or anything of that kind, because it makes life so much easy when you accept who you are, when you accept that there's always room for improvement and all of that.
Oh yeah.
Like, you don't have to wait for things to be so perfect before you kind of okay, start to showcase your talent, or
It's,
start to kind of
that's it.
do your thing, or you improve as you go along.
Have
Then
to
you
go
have,
on.
yeah, and then you have a better story to tell, kind of thing. So I like the fact that you mentioned that kind of thing, because sometimes people are afraid that they will be judged, like for certain things, so they just wait, because how society is, right? And it's so easy for people to kind of comment and all of that.
It's easy.
And people kind of scared and fear that. So what we're gonna do though, to continue on, I want to feature another clip of yours, if that's okay. And when we come back,
Sure.
we have another couple of questions for you. I just thought I'd take
Okay.
full opportunity to highlight some of the songs you've done, because you've done them so well. This one you actually perform at an actual function, so you probably will know which that
Oh,
is.
that's probably the one at school.
Okay, there you go.
That's
So
the one at school that's been asked about.
there you go. So there you go, Christine. Christine asked a
Yeah.
question if you perform, for your school children and whatnot, and you said yes. And speaking of that, here's an actual clip of you performing there. So let's enjoy this beautiful one.
Okay.
If I went up to heaven, you
Oh, amazing, amazing. I can just imagine that song obviously brought you back some memories and some chills and tears of joys and all of that. It's a moment that they obviously will remember for a long time. And we also will remember this moment for a long time because we were able to compile all of your unique pieces in one piece here on the Let's Chit Chat with Narine. And those are the things we try to do. We try to highlight the uniqueness of every individual we have on the show here, and you are nothing but a sweetheart. I can tell you that right now. And you are a
I
special
thank you.
soul. You are a special soul. And
Thank you.
when we realized that you were going to make yourself available, we were very pleased because that's what we do, that's what we do. And we love to connect and we like to broaden and all of that. Things have changed. I'm sure you will agree with me. We can no longer afford to put ourselves in a box and only do things a certain way. We must be open to all kinds of people. We must be open to all culture, all background, all ethnicity, all of that. So I cannot say that I'm Guyanese and I will only support Guyanese. Those were the
It's
old
true.
days. I cannot say I'm from Barbados and only support the people from Barbados and vice versa and all of that kind of thing. The world has changed. We are one world living together and we
Yeah.
must look at it that way. And so I'm so glad that your spirit, I was able to feel, I can feel your presence here. You are here but not here kind of thing. I
Okay.
can feel it. You're such of a powerhouse in your own rights, and so this is a very very special moment. And
Thank you.
my next question for you though is that
Mhm.
what is it that you would like to be remembered as? None of us live forever. That there's no exception to that rule. We all have to leave this world and all of that. And I know that you are close to God and things of that kind. So death is not even an issue for you because you talk about we should not be afraid of death and so on. But what is it that you would like to be remembered as? Kind of what different people. Some people it means nothing to them, but some people it matters to them. They would like to be remembered for something. What is that thing for you?
I think I want to be remembered like a bridge that helps someone between their dreams being a thought to reality, a bridge between someone who need to know, is there a real God? Is there a real loving Savior? I want to be that bridge that will say, yes, I have proven him. And I know from experience that God is real and he's true. I just want to be a conduit for, to do good. It's just a desire, really. And in this life where there's so much pain and hatred, and if we can position ourselves to be that source of blessing, that source of light, I think above all other things, you have really made it. Because I really want to hear, well done, thou good and faithful servant. And that's what I live for.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I just
I am
felt
an,
that
I'm an
uh,
emotional person. I feel
no, I normally
sorry.
don't like to put people on the spot, but
It's
what
okay.
we do here is real. You are speaking from the heart, and by you taking the time to respond to that question, you are changing lives. You've
I
and
pray for.
because people are watching, young people, people of color, minority people, all of that. The
Yeah.
challenges that people of color, go through even up to
Yeah.
this modernized time. And so I'm glad you took the time to kind of really being yourself on this show.
Yeah.
We want
Yeah.
honesty from our guests. We don't want people to sugarcoat anything because life is not perfect, and none of us are
There's no,
perfect. In not none of us, like I have never met a perfect person in my life, is what I'm trying to say. And
neither have
so I
I.
sorry, I didn't get to hear you. Sorry, you want to say that again? I didn't hear you.
Actually, neither have I. I have not met a perfect person yet.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, and that's why I love God all the more. Yeah.
Mhm.
He sees you where you are, and he sees the potential in you. He believes in you so much that once you connect with him, he will bring the right experiences, the right people, the right timing to make sure everything evolves. It's just a matter of having faith and remaining, focused on what it is you know that you need to do, and making the necessary adjustments.
Excellent.
Adjustments. Yeah.
Thank you. So obviously you are, you play a big part when it comes to the visual arts. So what I would like to do next, I would like to feature some of your artwork, so to speak, kind of thing. And so, that way people can get to see, because the art is such of a powerful thing, like I said to you, like everybody, regardless of age, sometimes when we have downtime at work and so on, for whatever reason may be, let's say, I know there's no internet or whatever, we all gather ourselves in a room and we kind of did the butterfly thing, those kind of, we allow people to kind of express themselves on paper. We just put a bunch of crayons and marker there, and you'll be amazed to know the kind of things people put it on paper. Then it gets you thinking, why is it that they've chosen at that moment to kind of describe how they're feeling or whatever the case may be through the arts that way. And I was able to discover, we were able to discover how some people are even talented just doing the arts in the first place. Well, I can remember that was just a whole different thing by itself, apart from the message. Like one girl did an art, like within a few minutes, and all of us, I probably had the most ugliest art there, but one girl, when she finished with her art piece, it was like as if it was printed off a machine. I've never seen something like that in my life, honestly. Like, front of my eyes, it was just happening right in front of me. I said, wow. And then I said to her, maybe she's in the wrong profession here. maybe she, maybe, no kidding,
And there's so much behind that. You see what happened. As I remember when I was getting into art was not a big thing. I remember when I came to Dad and I told Dad, I feel led, to do art. And he was very concerned, as a normal dad, very concerned. He told me, Sherry, I just want the best for you. But I knew what I heard from God. And so I kept telling him about it. He said, okay, whatever the Lord tell you to do, do it. And I took that leap of faith. When I came here, I studied the thing. It was still not a big do, but I felt it. And it's from strength to strength. Art became more accepted in Barbados. I got, at the time when they were laying off teachers, I was hired. Why? Because they were looking for trained artists.
Ooh.
And West, yes, they're looking for trained artists. So that's why I started at Harrison College in 1991. And I kept growing in that area. And then, as I become older, I moved from part-time to full-time, then teaching as the head there. And then not only that, then early student training college, the teachers training college, they needed someone to guide new teachers that were coming on as well. I had that opportunity. And then my recent stint was, when I go in the classroom and look at the young teachers when they're teaching and then give them tips, so a lot of things, even the syllabus, I was able to be a part of it, the target plan, and I was able to contribute to that level, and all because of art. Art took me in rooms where I had to look at from a distance. Right? Because of art, I met persons, dignitaries from overseas because of art. So a lot of opportunities just because of the art. So I guess, people saying art is irrelevant. No, too many opportunities are there. It's a matter of positioning yourself, getting your education to go with it, and keep pressing on.
Absolutely, for sure. Absolutely. I have I have a friend lives locally here in my city here. He speaks the same language as you. He's somewhat passionate about the arts in that sense, and so any kind of conversation we have, whether that be politics or something else, he always finds a way to bring in the arts.
It's true.
So the art kind of fit in any different conversation, and it works for him. Like it just works perfectly, Even I had him on the show and was talking about this whole pandemic thing and things of that kind, and of course the arts came along. The arts came into the conversation, and so on, because he's so passionate about the arts and things of that kind. So I kind of understand exactly what you are saying. So speaking of arts, let's showcase our viewers some of your artwork. So let me take the opportunity to do that. This is important.
Okay.
was nicely put together, by the way. It was nicely put together.
That was done in Washington, actually. I think this gallery, they were having this international inaugural
Mhm.
thing, and again, because of Aubrey, you had to pay and then submit your pieces, and then wait till in your thumbs wondering how you did,
Mhm.
because it had to be jury. So they told me the results will come out on 22nd of May, but by 20th of May, I got an email saying that not only one piece was selected, all three, and it's like, yay!
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
And this is about the pandemic too, shedding the light through the art. And
Mhm.
as you look at pieces like the one with the turn around with the arrow, it's showing that believe in God that once you do the right thing, practice the right things as set out by law, that you can believe God for turnaround. And the one with the waterfall and so on is just believing that you find that place where you can connect with God again and have a God perspective on everything. So I was really, the exhibition is going on until the end of this month, actually.
Oh,
It
wow.
starts officially on Monday. So my first international online exhibition, and I'm really thankful to God for this opportunity.
Of course, of course. You are
Yeah,
connecting with more people through the
yeah,
arts, and you are
yeah.
making a difference. In so many different lives, and you're probably not even realizing it. And through the arts is a very powerful thing. I'm not sure if people realize how powerful the arts is. I mean, I myself love the arts.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I'm more of a, I do a lot of social works, the social development, community development kind of work, but I find that the arts give me a sense of relaxation, and it really kind of allow me to kind of
Yeah.
see my true self through the arts and things like that. I mean, through the arts, like you can see me, I have my little gloves and things of that kind, right? So through the
I
arts,
see
it's like
you.
so we are trying to so the arts really allow me to be creative in my own way, kind of thing, right? And so I think that's how all of these pieces comes along. So that's one of the reasons, like when we have shows, and you know how the showbiz goes, when we
Yeah.
have shows and so on, we really kind of put a lot of effort in terms of creating ideas, in terms of really putting arts piece in terms of what we are going to wear, what it means, what it represents. So
Right.
we don't necessarily wear anything just like that. Like it has to represent something. The color has to mean something. Maybe for that year, the colors, it means something. Things of that kind. And I think for me, the arts actually allow me to get out of my comfort zone. As well, even when I ran for election here,
Okay.
there was an arts organization that put together a debate,
Okay.
and everybody else went with a suit and tie, and I went with a different outfit because it was the arts organization.
Correct.
The topic was going to be arts, and I said to myself that I know about the arts. I'm not going to fake it and kind of read off a script.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so I
Be
understand.
natural.
I understand what you said about the arts, and I'm so glad that you found your passion at such of an early age, and it worked for you. You made a career out of it, and there's
Yeah.
nothing more special than that. And I always say to people, as a job developer, as a career counselor, I always say to people that if you can find a way to make a living doing what you love, that's the best
Yeah.
you can ever do. And it doesn't have to be arts. I want to make it clear here too. It doesn't always
Yeah.
have to be arts. It has to be whatever you're
Yes.
passionate about. Once
Yes.
you recognize it and once you go towards that, if it happens to be the
Yeah.
art, that's great. If not, but I'm bigger than
Just
life, because I
find
find that,
it.
yes, of course, I find that when you do what you love and what you're passionate about, you don't have to look at the time and say, oh, is it lunchtime yet? Is it time to go home or all that? You just do your thing because you're so passionate about it. And so um, I'm glad
It's
that you
true.
found yours. So that's awesome. And I'm glad you took the time to be honest and share all of your pieces, because people watching, I can assure you, people, will really, kind of think of what you have done and kind of use your story as an example and kind of really find the creativity in them own self, kind of thing. And so that's what you've done here tonight. And we are
Yeah.
forever
Yeah.
grateful. We're forever grateful. You share a lot of richness here.
Yeah.
So what is it what's the last, so now is an
Grateful.
opportunity for you to share any last thing you would like to share that I haven't had the opportunity to ask you. This is your time now to share any last minute thing. This is an
Um,
open chit chat. Take the time to do so.
I guess at this time where we have the pandemic going on, and also we are looking at what's going on in America in terms of race.
Mhm.
Sometimes we can focus on the negative side of it, or because of how the mainstream is, you see the negative. But I've been seeing on Instagram a lot of positive, and I'm seeing how people of different races can come together, and I'm seeing a lot of peaceful walks, and I'm seeing how they're sharing thoughts, the hugs and the encouragement. There is still a light. There's still something positive. And I'm saying, regardless how negative a situation might look, it is still affecting every one of us. And so that we all have to play a part to support one another, because today could be for me, tomorrow it can be for you. And even though we are in this region, we have family over there, so that we can always try to encourage them to pray, to play and do our part. But it's very important, as someone said, if someone is suffering and they say nothing, when then they'll think that they're enjoying it. But definite steps to get that definite result that we want. So I'm just praying, and we all continue to pray that God will give them wisdom, the right person to listen, do the right thing. But you have to do something about it, and we'll just continue praying and doing our part wherever we are at. And even though they say today is Black Tuesday, black is a powerful color. Black symbolizes strength, sophistication. And with all of that, you can find, there you go, you're showing off. You're showing me. It represents all of that. So in the midst of all the darkness, it's not that light is gone, no. It is just you're using this time to introspect what really matters. And as you do that, you can find the presence of God seeping in. His answers, his solution comes in, because I always believe in that scripture where all things will work together for good. So just hang on and wait. To spread a table in front of your enemies, whatever have you. That time is an opportunity to see the light of God. So just hang on there. The night don't remain for long, not forever. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning.
That's right. Yeah.
So keep looking out for the morning. So that's what I would say.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that last great input. Very much appreciated. So don't go anywhere. Just stay there for now. Okay. So my dear fellow listeners, as we're approaching the end of tonight's program, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for tuning in to Let's Chit Chat with Narine. Please remember to join us again tomorrow at 7 p.m. where we have Nati Ramatar, a talent out of Trinidad and Tobago, lives in the United States. Very, very talented fella. So you don't want to miss that one. So on behalf of myself and our guest, very special guest tonight, I'm Sherridean, all the way from Barbados. We would like to take this opportunity to wish you a great today and even a better tomorrow. And again, we are going to see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.